Hello everyone, my name is Faye, and in high school I took a total of 10 AP classes. And now that I've graduated, I've decided that I want to rank all 10 of them on a scale from least to most difficult subjectively for me. I did end up getting a 5 on all 10 of the exams. Here's the proof if you don't believe me. There are my qualifications for making this video. And without further ado, I think we should get started. So at number 10, we have AP Gov. I don't know what it was about this class. Maybe it was the fact that I took it my senior year and I already taken so many harder APs before. But literally, as long as you know the Constitution, your SCOTUS cases, the foundational documents, and like really basic civics knowledge, you're fine, really. And at number 9, we have AP Human Geography. Objectively, I'm pretty sure that this class is easier than AP Gov, but because AP Human was my first AP class ever, I never took one before, I found it slightly harder. Out of the bottom 4 classes on this list, the ones that I dub free 5s, at least for myself, this was the only one that I actually kind of studied for. And at number 8 and 7 have AP Lit and AP Lang. Honestly, these classes are pretty similar. The only big difference is that Lit has you reading more fiction and Lang has you reading more nonfiction. And personally, for me, I'm decently good at writing essays, so the only thing that kind of tripped me up here was the Old English, but that's not really something you can study for. And the only reason I rank Lit lower than Lang just because I like reading fiction more. And at number 6 and 5, we have APUSH and AP World. So one thing you should know about me is that history is my all-time favorite subject. I absolutely adore history, I love it. So I really loved these 2 classes, which definitely contributed to how hard, or I guess not hard, I found them. But you kind of actually have to study for these 2 classes because you have to memorize historical facts, and you have to learn how to write the essays like the DBQs and the LEQs, which is kind of difficult. But for me, as a history nerd, I'm the type of weirdo who actually enjoys reading history textbooks. So I didn't find these classes too hard because I was actually enjoying what I was learning. And I rank World as harder than APUSH just because I took World first, which means this is a class where I had to learn how to write DBQs and LEQs and SAQs which made it kind of harder. But then again, as the type of weirdo who enjoys reading history textbooks and writing essays, I like these classes. And at number 4, I know this one's going to be kind of controversial once you see what I have above it, is AP Calculus AB. Now at this point, you're probably wondering, Faye, what egregiously hard classes did you take for you to be ranking AP Calc AB at number 4? But to be honest, objectively, this should be at number 2, but I think a main factor as to why I didn't find Calc AB as hard as I think most people do was just because my calc teacher, was really, really good. I'm pretty sure she's been teaching calculus for at least as long as I've been alive, and she really, really likes the subject, and she's genuinely a good teacher too. So I kind of lucked out there. There's some easier AP classes that you can kind of get by with having a bad teacher, but calculus is one of those that if you want to do good, you have to have a good teacher, and I just personally got really lucky with a good one, which definitely contributed to how easy I found it, which contributed to, ranking it at number 4. But then again, no matter how good of a teacher you have, calculus, especially at a college level, is not easy. You have to put in the work, you have to understand it, you have to know how to apply the concepts, which is why I rank it at number 4. And if 7 through 10 on this list were the free 5s, then I call 1 through 4 the hair-pulling AP classes. As in, these were the classes that were kind of stressful at times and had me losing sleep over. And at number 3, you're gonna have to hear me out on this one, is AP Chinese. Now, for context, I am an ABC, which stands for American Born Chinese, which means that I'm ethnically Chinese, but I was born and raised in America. I can understand and speak Mandarin perfectly fine, but for the life of me, I cannot read or write it. And this is pretty normal of ABCs because we grew up speaking Chinese and English at home, but we don't really learn how to read or write it because we go to American schools. And the way the AP Chinese test is broken down is one half of it is understanding and speaking, and the other half is reading and writing. So basically, one half of the test was free for me, and the other half was so extremely hard. And if you don't know, Mandarin is the hardest language in the world because it uses characters and doesn't have an alphabet. And 3 years of learning Mandarin in an American school really only does so much. So this class was pretty hard because I had to learn how to read and write characters. And this was actually the only AP test that I started getting a headache actively during, just because towards the end of the hour-long reading section, all of the characters were starting to blur together. And yeah, it was not great. And coming in at second place, we have AP Physics 1. Now, throughout my entire high school career, there have only been two subjects that I genuinely dislike, and those are biology and physics. This is why I never took AP Biology, because I knew I would hate it, but I kind of had to take physics because it was the only other science AP that my school offered that offers decent college credit. And this is ranked at number 2 above Chinese because while Mandarin was hard, it was only half of the exams that was hard, and also because Mandarin's kind of useful, I'm going to need it in my life in the future, but physics, I'm going into finance. I don't need to know physics. And AP Physics 1 is also just an objectively hard course with historically low pass rates. And the only reason I didn't absolutely despise this class was because I liked my teacher, but no matter how much I liked or didn't like the teacher, AP Physics is hard. I didn't like it, wasn't great at it. Therefore, it's a number 2. And coming in at number 1, the hardest AP class that I took in high school was AP Chemistry. Now, I don't think this is that controversial of a take because objectively, I'm pretty sure AP Chemistry is one of the hardest AP classes you can possibly take. But I personally enjoy chemistry. It's the only science that I genuinely like, and I like my teacher. I like what we learn. But it's a hard class. I would usually spend upwards of 1 to 2 hours every day after school doing homework, and even more than that, studying for tests and stuff. This was the year where I was usually up until 2 or 3 a.m. every single morning just studying for chemistry, and yeah, it was not fun. Although the fact that I'm a student athlete and was also practicing like 4 to 5 hours every day after school didn't help with brain power and stuff. But yeah, this was hard. So it takes number 1 spot, and I'm genuinely so thankful to my AP Chemistry teacher and so proud of myself for my 5 on this exam. So yeah, this is my ranking of all 10 AP classes that I took in high school, from least difficult to most difficult. Just a reminder that this list is subjective to my strengths and my weaknesses and my experiences. So if you disagree with me, or even if you do agree with me, please leave a comment down below and let's talk about it.